My name's Palmer. I play sled hockey and I'm a forward, and I've been playing since I was like 4, so about 9 years.
My name's Oliver. I play high school hockey at Mona High. I've probably been playing hockey for like 13 years.
When Oliver started to skate, first of all, watching a kid learn how to skate, it's such a neat thing because right away it's, falling more than, you're on the ice more than you're on your edges, and then pretty soon they're skating backwards and spinning around and they don't even realize they have skates on their feet. So the sport in general, to me, is just really fun to watch, that progression.
When Oliver loved it so much, we decided we should put a rink in our backyard and started researching sled hockey, and we should get Palmer a sled. And I was probably a little more, they're really expensive. And we decided to do it, to buy a sled. And I think that's how it all started. We had a rink in our backyard. We would go out with the boys and we pushed Palmer around at like 2.5 years old.
Oliver would play goalie.
Yeah.
And Oliver would shoot on
He
him.
would sit there.
We
could sit, his legs would be wide.
Yeah.
And we'd put like a helmet on him and Oliver would shoot at him.
Hi, my name is Cady.
My name is Stella. Hi, my name is Mason.
I've met them through different activities. I met Mason on the ice, and I met Stella at one of the first track lessons for Prairie Grit.
Prairie Grit has been the opportunity they've had to be in activities together. We call them like the Three Musketeers, the Three Amigos. They did a triathlon together and we made team bestie shirts for them.
Stella is the runner. She loves to run. Mason rode bike and Cady was a swimmer.
The three of them together do make quite the trio. Mason is definitely bossed around by both of them. The girls keep him in line too, so I think sometimes it's helpful for him. He's staying in line and staying on track, but
he listens pretty well, just goes along with the flow.
Do you remember when we first met? Really? 3 years ago.
When we first met Ben, he was playing for the Minotauros. Now he plays for the Beavers. He, at the time, was billeting with our neighbors. And we met their billet players every time they had one. We were over there for whatever reason, just to eat popcorn or watch hockey or whatever. So it wasn't anything new to meet these players. We just never had a connection with them, not in a bad way, but we just, we'd go to the games, watch them, support them, see them in the garage, and that was it. And I don't know, something clicked with Ben and Lincoln, and they've built a pretty cool friendship. When we did this the first time, it would have been like his first year in Prairie Grit. He's made huge strides in school and, therapy and just in life in general. He has had some medical stuff. There's been some severe vision concerns that we're watching. He did have a seizure this winter that he'd been seizure free for almost 6 years. So that was hard.
So Mason has a genetic disorder that's called Jordan syndrome, and he has a genetic mutation of the PPP2R5D gene. And it mainly affects gross motor skills, coordination, and some delayed learning processes and stuff like that. So he can struggle with several little daily things.
Palmer's got major grit. His faith is so strong. It's wild.
Stella's disability, I think it's not as always as clear cut. She was born a preemie, and she was born with a cleft palate, which we didn't know about until after she was born. That kind of seemed like the least concern at the time because she was a preemie and she was in the NICU for quite a while.
Yeah, he's been through some stuff for sure. Think about the hospital stays and the uncertainty and things that have happened. Like, that's a lot for a kid, and he'd never, I mean, yeah, he's strong.
He's got a big heart. I think they all have big hearts.
As she started getting older, we kind of just saw some more developmental delays that happened. In 5th grade, she started wearing hearing aids, so also then diagnosed with an auditory processing disorder, and ADHD, and so it's a lot of things that can affect her in the classroom. It is a hidden disability until maybe you start talking to her, so she doesn't have a genetic diagnosis of something, and so sometimes you want those answers because then we can definitively say, this is what it is. Instead of, in Stella's case, it's kind of this like mixed bag of a whole lot of stuff, which can be a challenge sometimes.
For her to have other moms that go through the same thing. Sometimes it's nice to have somebody else that says, you know, that you're not wrong for having that line of, you know, looking at it in that perspective. So just the reinforcement that, hey, we've all either gone through it or we're going through it, and this is what worked for us. Not necessarily going to work for you, but at least it's some place to start. All the families that are involved in Prairie Grit activities, I think we all just kind of are one giant support group every once in a while.
So Ben has definitely been an advocate for Lincoln, whether he realizes it or not. He doesn't see Lincoln's he doesn't see Lincoln's disability, but he knows it's there. He knows he has limitations, but he pushes them. He can push Lincoln in ways that we can't. Maybe that's because we're mom and dad and we always push back on mom and dad, but he definitely pushes Lincoln's hesitations and his limitations, and he advocates for him whether he realizes it or not.
Who are your best friends?
The people who are sitting next to me right now.
And who are those people?
Stella Lacini and Mason Keller.
We have Max.
Because we need each other.
I would describe their friendship as cherished. I think they definitely cherish each other and the time that they get to spend together.
They are going to be friends forever, and they wouldn't have had this connection they had without this, but they've brought our families all together too, which is even more powerful. So
I think Stella thinks Cady and Mason are just the best. I mean, I think she knows they're her best friends. You know, we'll talk about friends at school, and then she'll say, but Cady and Mason are my best friends. She knows when she's having a hard day at school, if some other kids may not understand her, she can go call Cady and Mason. Like, they're her safety net. They are her... Sorry. It's what we've always wanted for her to feel genuine friendship and connection with people that she can understand and people who understand her.
What don't we do together? Huh? We would say our biggest thing is hockey in the garage. We've done that from day one, and it's something we continue to do. We've gotten into a lot of Nerf battles, a lot of wrestling matches. Who wins those? Me? Yeah,
He loses.
me. I lose?
Yeah,
No way. You don't win any of them.
It's almost like Lincoln has a big brother. There's someone there picking on him and at the same time watching his back and keeping him in line, and it's really cool.
Lincoln is like the youngest little brother that I never had growing up. I had a younger brother, but he was closer in age, so having a younger one like this around and just kind of puts a whole new perspective on life. They're just normal kids. Like at heart, they're just normal kids who just want to do normal kid things to the best of their ability.
I guess it just goes to show that we can't look at somebody and understand everything that they have going on in their lives, because maybe it's hidden or you don't know or they haven't shared. It's a perfect example of just to treat a person like a person and no other way.
Just having Palmer as a brother has really opened my eyes, like kind of like built-in best friend. Like I can always talk to him or text him. I don't know. I'm not worried about us like growing apart at all.
I think they're your typical brothers, kind of like a love-hate, great relationship.
It's different, like their relationship compared to two able-bodied boys. They definitely support each other. I would say that Palmer is probably a huge cheerleader. Not that Oliver isn't, but Palmer's the younger brother. So Palmer is always cheering for Oliver. But their relationship it's just a little bit different because of the mobility challenges that Palmer has.
He means a lot to me, and maybe I don't show it a lot or all the time, but like I'll do anything for him.
He's supported me through the highs and lows, and it's just amazing brother, and couldn't ask for a better brother.
Prairie Grit just provides so much opportunity to be able to go out and play sports where they may not have been able to get in on a regular team somewhere else. It's huge for the kids, it's huge for their confidence and building friendships. Everything about Prairie Grit is great.
I love that he has a place to go and try all these different sports and activities, and he gets to go and hang out with all his friends. Anytime he gets there, Cady comes running up and gives him a big hug, and Mason's there, and he absolutely loves it. Every time we show up somewhere, he's giving people hugs and they're hugging him, and it's just a big family.
Having these relationships is just amazing. Since Prairie Grit started, before I couldn't go out like golf with them or play hockey, but since Prairie Grit has happened, I just get to do whatever I want.
It's super cool, super special for him to be able to play just like I do. Just a little different, but just same thing, being with the guys, having fun.
I think this is the aha moment for me, how powerful Prairie Grit is. And I can remember the day just like it was yesterday. Cady was in 2nd grade, and she had a lot of kids in her class who already at 2nd grade were doing travel hockey and talking about basketball and all kinds of things. And she came home from school one day and she said, "Mom, I was talking to my friends at school about sled hockey and our tournament, and they said, Cady, you're a hockey athlete just like us." And she goes, "Mom, I'm an athlete." And that was the moment for me that was just like, you are an athlete, and you are having these opportunities that other kids don't get the chance to do because we have Prairie Grit here. And I hope all of the participants feel like they're athletes, because they are.
I think what's changed for Stella is really her confidence. I think things that she's learned in Prairie Grit, she can then translate to school and outside and events outside of Prairie Grit. And I don't know what she would be like without Prairie Grit.
I have gained so many connections through Prairie Grit activities. It would just feel so weird if I wasn't in my activities that I am in now. The best thing that happened to me in my life.
'Cause everything. Everybody. It's her family too. And everybody's family.
I think Prairie Grit, Palmer, all the kids, when they're at the Mesa, when they're at the Y, when they're at school, they are teaching everyone they're around. I mean, they're just like them. They were made a little different. You know, God made all of us. We're just all a little different. I always think about Palmer's class and just how they don't see the chair anymore. Like, to me, it's just Palmer.
My wish is that the friendship, I mean, that they have just continues to get stronger. When they become adults and go off and have their own lives and families and jobs, that they stay in touch, and one time out of the year, the three of them get together again. And it's just like they were back in Prairie Grit days. And that's the big wish, and I think that could be said of any parent.
My wish is just that they continue to live life laughing with each other and talking to each other and lifting each other up and encouraging each other always. And I think they will. That's the beauty of their friendship.
There's no doubt in my mind that these three are going to have some kind of relationship forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just think it's important for people to know, like, the disabilities don't stop any of the kids. They just have the same love for the game, the same passion for the game that traditionally that us people that don't have disabilities are blessed to be able to play.
I'd like Lincoln just to take from Ben of how he treats people. Everyone is just another person. He sees past whatever that's going on in your life, disability or anything else. He sees you as you are.
We need people who don't have a disability or maybe have a child or are caring for someone with a disability to come in like Ben and see that their lives are different, but then they understand that the Prairie Grit is here and they learn about Prairie Grit and these kids and these adults and their disabilities are what they are, but let's do what we can to make everything possible for them.
The Prairie Grit team helps people understand or see that it's not that hard. It's not that big of a deal to have an adaptive class. A lot of people sometimes think it'll be really hard, or how do we make this work? And if they just try a little bit, ask some questions, talk to parents, I think so many great things will continue to happen.